As the sun dipped below the horizon, I knew it was time to leave the office and head home. My long day had left me weary, and I was eager to be back in the comfort of my own apartment. The street outside was quiet, and the air was crisp with the approaching winter. I bundled up in my coat, locked my office door, and began my walk towards the subway station. The journey home was always the same, a dull routine of navigating the city's underground labyrinth. But tonight, something felt different. The station was unusually empty, and the harsh fluorescent light seemed to cast eerie shadows in every corner. I quickened my pace, eager to be on my way. As I descended into the bowels of the subway, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. The footsteps behind me seemed to echo louder than usual, and I stole a quick glance over my shoulder. No one was there, just the empty platform and the dimly lit tunnels. My heart raced as I reached the platform, and I noticed a flickering light at the far end. It was as if a distant lantern beckoned me. Against my better judgment, I walked toward it. The flickering grew more intense, and I felt a strange sense of foreboding. Suddenly, the light extinguished, and I found myself engulfed in darkness. Panic set in as I fumbled for my phone to use its feeble flashlight. The walls of the subway tunnel were damp and cold, and a sense of claustrophobia overtook me. The air grew thick and heavy, and I was gripped by a suffocating dread. As I continued to walk, I heard whispering, barely audible but undeniably present. It seemed to come from all around me, like a chorus of voices in a language I couldn't understand. I couldn't pinpoint the source, and each time I tried, the whispers seemed to shift away, just beyond my reach. I quickened my pace, desperate to escape the oppressive atmosphere of the subway. The tunnel stretched on endlessly, and I began to doubt whether I was heading in the right direction at all. My mind played tricks on me, as if the walls themselves were shifting and changing, leading me deeper into the darkness. Then, a pale, ethereal light emerged in the distance. It cast an eerie glow, revealing a tunnel up ahead. I pushed forward, drawn to the light like a moth to a flame. As I entered the illuminated section, I froze in my tracks. Before me, a ghostly figure materialized. It was a woman in a tattered and blood-stained dress, her face gaunt and eyes vacant. She reached out her cold, skeletal hand toward me, and her lips parted, whispering in that same eerie, incomprehensible language. Her voice was a cacophony of agony, despair, and rage. Terrified, I turned and fled back into the darkness, my footsteps echoing in the empty tunnel. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, and I could feel unseen eyes upon me, scrutinizing my every move. The tunnel seemed to stretch on forever, and I had no idea how to find my way back. Hours passed, or perhaps it was only minutes. Time had lost all meaning. I stumbled through the labyrinthine tunnels, my phone battery long dead, and the whispers continued to haunt me. I couldn't escape the feeling that I was not alone, that something unseen was following me, just out of sight. Finally, I stumbled upon a small, decrepit room in the tunnel. It was filled with ancient, rotting furniture and scraps of torn wallpaper. In the dim light, I spotted a message scrawled on the wall in faded crimson letters. "Abandon hope, for this is your final stop." The words sent a shiver down my spine, and I knew I had to find a way out. I retraced my steps, my sense of time and direction completely warped by the oppressive darkness. The whispers and the feeling of being pursued never ceased. At last, I emerged from the subway tunnel into the station. The harsh fluorescent lights and the familiar surroundings were a welcome sight. I raced up the stairs, back to the surface, and into the bustling city streets. As I finally reached my apartment, I locked the door behind me, the the echoes of the terrifying experience still fresh in my mind. I couldn't explain what had happened in the depths of that subway, but I knew one thing for sure. I would never look at my daily commute the same way again. The darkness and the whispers had left an indelible mark on my soul, a reminder that sometimes the most horrifying experiences can happen in the most mundane of places.